Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, the Droidals Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Italian auto-reloading tank destroyer, the Minotauro. This is a vehicle that I have not talked too much about since its original release a couple months ago. I figured it would be a good idea to make a revamped review on how I think this tank has held up after its original release, if it's a good tank, if it's worth grinding, or should you skip past it. Now, the MINO has one of the weirdest playstyles and guns in Tier 10 because it features a reserve shell mechanic. The way it works is you have to wait 21.7 seconds just to load a single shell. And then you have to wait another like 30 seconds to get your other shells in the clip as well. It's quite a long reload. Now, I should point out that there is the ability in the future, possibly, what Wargaming might do is make it so that when you load into a battle, your reserve shell is already in the barrel, which would honestly be a pretty big benefit. So I guess we're going to find out if that actually ends up happening or not. But here we go. Let us make our way into the front line. Yes, I am fake Doobles. I'm just going to get hauled down to right here and see how we can do. We got the 50B all the way off to the side. I've got a couple seconds left before we can get our third shell loaded, but you can see just how long it takes to load in this clip. I might not even get it loaded before we get up to our position, but nah, we did. It really is a long reload, though. If you're on a map like Normandy, sometimes you don't even get your second shell before you are in the front line. Now, I've got the Grillbow Baggins all the way back there. Let's dump an HE, and not only did it not pen, but it did like 2 damage. But we get a second shell into the grill, and yeah, he's not enjoying life all too much. We've already done about 600, 700 damage. Not too bad. We just have to chill here, wait for our shells to reload, and this is definitely where the auto-reloading playstyle can be a bit drab. I mean, you just sit and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait, and then you finally have a shell. Now, I'm very, very confident that grill might just be sitting there, so it doesn't hurt to take a blind shot, especially if it kills him. So we're just going to reload again. 5 more seconds. Now, this tank is actually most efficient as a single shot, so that's how I like to use the vehicle mostly. I'm just going to, well, you know what? If he's just going to do that, I'm just going to drive over, bonk him once, and, well, he did hit me. Not only did he hit me, he rolled me for 500, which is a lot, but we're going to get a second bonk into his vehicle. Yeah, how do you feel when you get rolled 500? Haha. Alright, we got the Yag Tiger off to my side, which is definitely a deadly tank, but not exactly sure what he's doing. We're just going to reload, and dead. I don't know what that idea was. That was a pretty poor decision on his part, but fine with me. We are up to 1,764 damage, and we're reloading as usual. Now, this is obviously what the MINO really is. It's just a reload bar. You're not really using the armor because 90% of the time you're too busy reloading to really do anything else. You can see we got the TVP on the side, and bonk. There's a nice 702 HE. Got the grill, bonk, no more grill. We're getting some nice bounces. Now we've dealt 2,800 damage, and once again, reloading, 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 reloading. And we have a second shell. Alright, well, I've got a couple options here. I can drive forwards, I can go to my side, or I can not shoot that guy. Okay, well, let's see if we can get an HE. Oh, I do not know how we hit that shell. That was luck. I'm going to be completely honest. There was not a lot of skill in that shot. That was just definitely luck-based. Hello, Mr. Minnow. Hooah! And 1,000 on base cap. That's actually unfortunate we did hit 1,000 on the base capture because I was up to 4,000 damage and there was a full health yo there. I probably could have dealt about 6,000 damage this battle if it didn't have to do supremacy base capture, but it's a win, and I will take any win I can get. So, not a bad first battle to showcase where the Minnow feels pretty dang powerful. The gun hits really hard. If you're able to connect an HE like we did on that TVP, it did 700 damage, and the other HE on the Amex 50B did 660. And that's really just what I love about the Minnow, is the fact that it hits so dang hard. Its AP shells deal 490, and the HE does 630 on average. That means if you get a lightly armored vehicle, for example, like a TVP, in fact, yesterday I was playing on Canal, and a TVP thought, I'm gonna rush the Minnow. Well, what ended up happening was I HE'd him 3 times in the side and full health killed his tank. There's not many vehicles in the game that can do that. Even a 4005 will struggle because you have to pen 4 shells. This tank just will eradicate your HP if you think you can get away YOLOing it. And that's where the reserve shell definitely feels quite capable and nice, is when you're able to save it and then absolutely annihilate the person in front of you. Now this battle here, I'm going to cross and go caves. Sometimes I like to go caves, sometimes I don't. We have platooning T92E1s, which is a very, very hard opponent to fight. But what I'm thinking is that if I can just push through medium side, especially because mediums do struggle a lot to penetrate this vehicle, I think I can do a pretty decent job. We've not been spotted, never mind. I was about to say spotted yet, but it looks like I was spotted. But it's all fine. We just got to make this crossing here, which we were able to, and now we are in the position. So, is that Object 84 going to poke? I have a feeling he will, but I don't even know where that shell went, to be completely honest. Alright, well, let's keep on reloading. We got the 30B and the Object 84. Just trying to think of how I want to take control of this situation. The 30B really doesn't scare me. What? Okay. Well, apparently the 30B doesn't scare me, but the game does. We got a lot of stuff here. A lot more than I'm really wanting to fight, especially because the rest of my team is not necessarily here. So, I guess we're going to get one shell into you, and let's just wiggle and get a shell into you. Keep on backing up. I just need to get hauled down right here, and we should be a lot better off. The problem is, my 92E1 just bled a lot of his health. We got still a lot of death over here. We got a 57 heavy on my side. Yeah, this is not looking all too fun, to be honest. There's another shell into the 30B, but holy crap. This team fell apart possibly faster than any team I've seen in a very, very long time. We're getting bounces, which is the good news. We just need to reload here for like one more second, and we can get one. Oh, okay, never mind. That shell did not like me, but we can get another one out. There you go. I mean, we did 1900 damage. If I didn't mess up that one shell, we could have done about 2000, but this is teams for you. When you're heavies, you're a mil 2, you're full health 60 TP and full health type 68, go all the way over to the other side of the map. You have an STB1 that kills himself in the first 10 seconds of the game using his tank not on flat ground. That's what's going to happen. There's not much to linger on. It's just an unfortunate situation that sometimes you'll get stuck in these battles. Now, obviously, it wouldn't have mattered what tank I drove in this battle. If I had been in an AMX-50B, an M6Yo, or even an Object 26A version 4, it wouldn't have mattered. No matter what, this game would have been a loss. I even tried to support my mediums because I knew it was going to happen, but it didn't make a difference. The mediums died so fast, and they just fell apart around me. So, I guess we're just going to watch these two heavies die. I'm going to do one more battle in the Minnow, just because I feel like this really wasn't a fair game to showcase anything about the vehicle. So all that's left is the 60 TP here, and that's it. Advice for heavies. I don't know why I still have to say this. I feel like this is a very, very simple thing to understand, but stop going town on Black Goldville. I do not understand why people think there's an advantage of going town on Black Goldville when you are not only lower down, but you have almost no cover to work all down, where if you go caves or you go to mid, you have a lot more terrain. Not only did these heavies go the other way, but they did just about worst on the team, which is actually surprising. That was a pretty sad battle in general. I don't know how I managed to finish top on the team, but you know what? Whatever. I've really reached a point in World of Tanks Blitz where I think I just can't be bothered to care about getting mad anymore. A lot of the teams are so hard to understand and predict what every player in your team is going to do, which way they're going to go. I played a battle earlier today where I was hauled down in the Minnow on New Bay and went town, because that's where everybody went. I wanted to go bridge hull down. Everybody went town, everybody called town. So I went aggressive into the park, got hauled down there, did about 3k, and then got rushed by like 5 heavies. And then looked behind me, and all the heavies that were behind me went over to the bridge. I was like, what? What? So at this point, it's so hard to really predict what you're going to be able to do and your team's going to do to support you in a battle, that it's very hard to enjoy a lot of the time you play this game if you care too much about it. Now, in this situation here, like, this is a perfect example. Nobody is covering B, and nobody's spotting C, so I don't want to be the first person to just drive in to the enemy and get absolutely obliterated because I decided to do something. So I have to be constantly very cautious in this battle. But it looks like the majority of the enemy team is repositioning. We've got the 50 TP here. There's 1 shell into his tank, and 2 shells. Alright, well that's about 1,000 damage right there. 1,008 to be exact. But unfortunately, my 215B is dead. Well then, my E5 and Conqueror are split up from the rest of the team, which means all we have left are 2 lights, and I think those are the same platooning lights from the previous game, and a Waffle who's also going to be dead. Well then, that's not very good. I'm going to drive right here, get a nice tracking shell into the boss Chatillon, and finish him off. Okay, well, the good news is I was able to get here, which is going to put a big halt on the enemy team. They are not really going to be able to do all too much. Now, I can't do much here as of now. These guys are just going to get shot by the AMX because they're sitting in the open. Clearly, the AMX is a well-armored vehicle, and that's why it deserved to get a bounce from my 280mm pen shell. That clearly made a lot of sense. There you go. Was that so hard wargaming? I'm clearing him. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. In that situation, I think it was worth it to clear, just because these guys don't know how many shells I have. So I'm just going to back up for now, and keep on backing up, hoping that the Sheridan does not rush me. And I'm going to chill here. I've got, oh boy, T92. 4005 is going to YOLO him, which is not very fun, and he's dead. Alright, well, I'm going to keep on backing up. And let's see what we can do here. 4005 misses the first shell on me, and let's see, does pen 1 shell, but allows me to get a very easy HE in once and finish him off. Okay, that was worth. That was definitely worth. If I'm able to just kite this E4 for enough time, I should be in a fine situation. Come on, E4, shoot at me. Come on, do it. Do it. Alright, and I'm just gonna back on up. Yes! Alright, perfect. He doesn't know how many shells I have at this point, which is the good news. This is where being an auto-reloader does have its few advantages, because in this type of situation, I can pretend like I have shells when I don't. And now that this guy has allowed me to reload my clip to a point now where I only have 8 more seconds to wait for my final shell, I can actually probably get some decent damage out here. Now this E4 is stuck in a pretty poor situation, and we are going to take full advantage of that, getting 1 shell in, and 2 shells in, and obviously I'm going to dump this third shell right into his lower plate. There you go. Now, for some reason our E5, instead of going for base capture, has been chasing the Sheridan. So, once again, I'm going to lose. And it's not the Minno's fault we're losing this. This E5 is just bad. Yep, that's a loss. Well, Supremacy won me 1 battle and lost me another. Well, it didn't win me the 1 battle. We would have won either way. Supremacy basically screwed me over 2 times today. I could have gotten a decent chunk of damage out that one game. Supremacy was like, no! But I do like Supremacy every now and then. Either way, the Minnow is a great tank, and it definitely can do well if you allow it to do well. You can see there the E4 did not know how many shells I had. The 4005 played like an absolute poob and killed himself. We did fine. Really, the only shell that actually hurt us a lot was that stupid bounce in the AMX 5120's track wheel, which made absolutely no sense. That E5, even though he managed to live the entire battle, did 396 damage. And I don't know why the 92 E1s were where they were either. The whole battle, as I said, when it comes to Blitz, there is no point in caring about how you do anymore, because there's nothing you can do a lot of these games. It's just a loss whether you've tried your best or you've tried your worst. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Let me know what you think about the Minnow. I think it's a great tank. I think it's a fun vehicle, but it definitely is a little slow, and the DPM can cause you, like situations in that scenario there, to not have enough DPM to actually push hard enough to win. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.